Welcome to Gan Eden. If you don't see it as Gan Eden, I'm sorry. But this world that we're in now is Gan Eden. We never left Gan Eden. It's only a psychological misunderstanding and an intellectual misunderstanding and a misreading of the text. There was never a fall. And one of the reasons why we never left Gan Eden is that the Nahash is the Mashiach. Gematria that are exact like that mean that these aspects are two in one, and that there's a correlation between the apparent negative and the positive. The gematria of Nahash is 358. The gematria of Mashiach is 358. That means they're the same. You know, one is one. And so, once we establish that, this is a fundamental of my approach here. And if you don't see it as such, go on to the other approaches. But this is fundamental, and I'm not here to convince you. But welcome to Gan Eden. The next thing is, I think it's too complicated, the entire opus of the Jewish texts and everything, and languages, and, you know, we never really learned, you know, the fundamental understanding of the texts, because we're English speakers or even Hebrew speakers. And so what I want to impose again is that we only examine the letter Aleph. This comes down not from me. It came down from the Baal Shem Tov, that all the letters come out of the Aleph. So what are you worried about the other letters for? Like all the letters come out of the like all the numbers come out of the number one. If you know the Aleph, you know all the letters. I've said this for years. And the surprising thing is that, you know, after 9/11, I studied Islam for many years, almost to the exclusion of Judaism, because I wanted to find out what was going on in the terrorist brain. And in Islam, if you know the Alif, the first letter of the Arabic alphabet, you know everything about Islam and esoteric Islam. And this is paralleled in Judaism. If you know the letter Aleph, you know everything. And we're going to examine only the letter Aleph. If you're talking about meditations, meditate on the letter Aleph. Everything is Echad, is one, brought into one. There are three letters in Echad, by the way. Just there are three parts of the Aleph. There's an upper Yud, a lower Yud, and a Vav in between. In a certain sense, it's almost the three souls. The upper Yud is the godly soul, the lower Yud, the animal soul, and the in-between is the Nefesh Sekalit, which connects the animal soul to the godly soul and goes higher. The center line goes higher. It's like the three hands, the Yad Gadola, the Yad Hazaka, and the Yad Ramah. The third aspect, which is in between the two, goes higher. It's the same thing in yoga. The Sushumna, between the Ida and the Pingala. That's what runs the gamut of the Kundalini up and down. So understanding this Aleph is everything. You see? Aleph is everything. Remember, there are three three heads in the upper regions of Atik Yomin and Eric Ampen and Rod Lowe. And in Rod Lowe itself, there are three of the heads of Atik Yomin. That three, and even so in that three represents the Aleph, because in the Aleph, three is one. And when you understand this, you understand everything about Judaism. Simple, not complicated. And when you keep it simple and not complicated, then you can see that the fundamental aspect has always been there from the beginning, with no changes. That there's nothing to lead to, that it's all apparent from the beginning, nothing to grow to. So when you're looking for something else, you'll never find it. You can't find something else rather than what is, that's right in front of your eyes in the physical. And this embodiment of the godly soul into the physical is the key. It's right in front of you. The cup of tea is right in front of you. And if you think that you have to develop some other senses or more than what's already given to you, this is a fundamental mistake. And if you think you need more than the Aleph itself, it's a fundamental mistake. This Aleph manifests itself downward into 21 other letters. 3 on the right, 3 in the center, 3 on the left. But if you don't understand that everything comes out of the Aleph, then what you have is 21 separate other things. And you'll never make the connection. So you have to see that everything came out of the one source. And everything came out of Gan Eden, and you never left. And if you think you left, you'll never get back. Because you're waiting for a Mashiach that's different than the Nahash. You're waiting for a 358 that's different than 358. And how can you have a 358 different than a 358? It's only an apparent difference. And until one understands that, then it's sad. And how to turn that sadness into happiness is simple. Realize that the 358 of the Nahash and Gan Eden is the 358 of the Mashiach, which is represented by the Nahash and Gan Eden to fool you. And until you can see the negative and the positive as one, and to raise the Sitra Akra into the Ein Sof, you're only fooling.